Welcome to Keeper of Secrets Tarot. I'm Gypsy Girl, here to give you another lesson for today. Very grateful for the energy that comes in to help bring out the lesson. I'm very humbled by the lessons. They're major and heavy lessons, but it's good because it means that we are paying attention to what's going on around us. But I am humbled again with the gift of bringing out this lesson. Thank you, Spirit, for protecting me, keeping me safe, for protecting the collective, keeping us safe. What is the lesson for today? Thank you, Spirit. What does the collective need to learn today? What is the lesson for today? Thank you, Spirit. Cards are a little bit heavy. Going through a lot this month of July. But it's a turning point, huh? It is a turning point. What is the lesson for today? Thank you, Spirit. What do we need to learn today? Integrity. This is a 7. So the 7s are turning points and reckoning, changing. And that's where we are. We're going through big change. If you go back and look at the lessons for this week and the weeks before, it's all about change and moving forward. Here we have the wisdom and the luck to help us, to bring us up and keep us going because of our passion. You know, this is where we stand and deliver. We are devoted. We have what brings in the passion to a relationship. Being a 7, it is to uphold that integrity, to reach deep inside and bring it up and keep that, what you believe, at the forefront, and not slip and slide and fall into a downward spiral, falling into baser passions where you forget what you stand for because of temptation. So that's what is the downside, where you stand up for your beliefs, or you manipulate and bring down, or allow yourself to be manipulated. You forget who you are, where you're from, because you want to fit in with a particular group or with a particular person. You let go of what is values to you. This can be detrimental to the psyche, where if you are allowing yourself to be abused, or you are abusing another, this can turn into deep suffering later on in life when you grow, when you finally grow, not just as a child, but even when you come up with circumstances that can bring your self-esteem down into a depression, then you lose sight of who you really are. This is why we have to hold on to these experiences and build character. But being brought down to your knees is where this would be the lesson. That pride, that ego, you would have to humble yourself in order to realign with what you consider to be values, what you believe in, what you stand for. If you have forgotten, let's just say you fell in to the snake pit, being lured in by opportunists of any form. You think about it, because we've all been through some form of manipulation. So just recall the ones that you have and see where you had to grip to what you believe in order to find your way back up, to breathe, get out of that confusion of being abused and manipulated constantly and having to serve on your knees. This is a deep one, eh? Well, I would expect all the lessons coming up this week to be pretty heavy. So what is the tool? Oh boy, more confusion. We're not getting out of it. We're going down that road this week. So buckle up, folks. Severing the ties is the only way to release yourself from that downward spiral. Because this is like you pulling on one end and the next person pulling on the other end. Here it is, right here. Trying to get out of a trap that you probably willingly walked into because you weren't holding on to what would be your integrity in the first place. That is where you are to learn the lesson of rising above and reclaiming what's yours and standing on a higher ground and taking a look at what the manipulation has done, not just to you, but anybody connected to you. That's what this is, eh? No choice. Spirit is giving us 2 sevens. Double jeopardy here. So this is difficult, and this is even more difficult because this is you pulling yourself up. So imagine going against gravity. It's like the 10 of wands, you know, you only have 3 to go to be with the 10 of wands on your back, eh? So you just feel it like it's heavy burden that you need to figure out what is valuable to you. And then here you have a tie that just keeps getting tighter and tighter. The more you pull to try and bring yourself up, the tighter the bond becomes, because this person or people want to keep you down, tied down. Sevens, difficult. So what is Spirit doing? Oh boy, well, Spirit is saying climb up. No, Spirit is not saying to climb up. It just means the 2 of Swords is you're holding back on speaking. You're in denial. You don't want to see the confusion. Well, that's one way of dealing with not dealing with a problem. Deny everything. I don't know. I didn't know. I'm innocent. Innocent of what? Of going in that direction? How could you be so innocent? You went willingly. As if to say you don't have a mind of your own. You know exactly what you're doing. The Spirit says that here. You know what you are doing. You are choosing to say nothing or to deny by not speaking. See, if you don't speak, then nobody will know. So the shame of not wanting to say that you are in a confused state. That's one way of looking at it, is a form of denial. But Spirit is giving us this. So it is not so much that we don't want to say anything, it's we're going to choose the right moment to speak. We know all about what's going on. That's what Spirit gives us. We know about this confusion. We know exactly what buttons to push and how hard to pull and how deep to push. We know because our integrity is on the line here. And if it is we want to save our integrity, we need to know when to do, when not to do, how to do, when to say, when not to say, who to say what to. What is the gift? If Spirit is giving us all this knowledge and this ability to hold back and hold off and not say certain things to help fix this, because if we antagonize, we only get drawn in tighter and more uncomfortable in the confusion, become even more confused. So what is the gift? Seeing through the veil. And Spirit is not joking, Seeing and knowing the truth, even if it isn't spoken, is practically everything that we could need or get to get out of a manipulative state to save our integrity. And at the bottom of the deck, the Hierophant. So that higher knowledge is, again, we have the Hierophant, but this is like knowing everything. This is feeling your way and working with feeling on what to say, when to say, knowing how to read what's going on so that you can maneuver and rise above to exit away from this, because severing ties is the only tool, is the only way out to bring up integrity, is to pull yourself away from those people who are bringing you down. It's the only way. And that knowledge is coming. Oh, look, we have similar cards. We have these two coming together. All right. Well, more hard lessons. More noise. Just when I thought everything was going to be all right. Well, let's see what we could work with from here. All right. I just want to get to the oracle message because I am not able to handle this. Just give me 1 second. Okay. Sorry about that. Just had to lock it up. All right. So the Hierophant, that higher knowledge, that wisdom that Spirit is providing, that justice that's going to be served, because we will have what is ours. Okay? Spirit is giving us the intuitive strength. And I say strength because it is not easy to read between the lines when you have a mess of confusion and you're holding on with everything that you have to what is your integrity. Spirit is giving us the know-how when to say and when not to say, what to say and how much of it to be said. Spirit is giving us that so we can bring up ourselves and rise above, because this is what we need to do, right? We need to rise above. This is hard because this is a sense of lack. This is a sense of I don't have enough. I am not enough is where this comes from, or what this teaches. Our value, our sense of worth. If we are confused, we don't know what we are worthy of, we don't know what we are worth, that is manipulation to the lowest level. But let's not skip. Justice will be served. As in the previous lesson, manipulation will not be allowed after a certain point. Spirit will step in. That's what Spirit is doing. If we have these two one after the other, to bring in our prince who is being reverent to his queen, wanting to pursue his queen, knowing when the right moment is, changing destiny, changing life, changing and turning another corner because of the moon. These two are very related here. This is the Chariot, which follows the moon, is ruled by Cancer. The moon is ruled by Cancer. I wouldn't even begin to say when or how much time. I'm not going there because that's not the message coming. It's not a question of time. It is a question of understanding and courage to move on and grow and take the step forward. We end up with our Wheel of Fortune because timing, again, with the moon, is where the wheel comes in. Spirit is going to bring us out from under the wheel, if that is where we are placing ourselves, with our I forgot my values because I was tempted, couldn't resist, because that's what brings all of that confusion, that inability to resist temptation for whatever level you want to place it in, whether it is a personal, a physical, an emotional, a working situation. You are tempted to the point where you forget yourself. And this could even be in a form of anger, where you have an outburst because you're so irritated by a situation that you just and you shock people that wouldn't expect you to react in a certain way, because you have such a high reverence that you forget yourself, and you just have that fall from grace all of a sudden. And people who look up to you now look at you in a strange way. Is this person okay? They don't look like they're doing okay. That kind of a reaction is what comes with the forgetting of the self and having it so good that you're tempting fate. And there you go, tempting fate, bringing down your values and your self-esteem and your sense of worth, because you're tempting fate. That epiphany that comes and says, oh well, I got this, I can get more, and oh, I'm doing such a great job, I got this one, I got that one, I'm tricking them all, so I can just keep on tricking. And then when you realize that you are caught in that trickery, that's when you start seeing the reality, and you have to climb, and it's a hard climb because you're going against gravity. This is a lesson in self-preservation too, That's why Justice and Hierophant are here, because these are hard lessons, but it will serve the purpose to bring up your integrity. And again, the 5 here, this 5 is you going down into deep, dark depression, but still able to find a way back up, because Spirit is giving us that, and the Wheel of Fortune, and our Chariot is here. And there is grace with this prince. This prince is again related to the moon. We have the moon showing itself through the moon card. Sorry, yes, this is the High Priestess. She represents the moon. The prince of Pentacles is given reverence, all that devotion, that confidence that he's working for, like our Hercules down on one knee. He's working his way back to slowly building up the love of his queen. And he's doing it with the timing that Spirit provides, giving and using the gifts that Spirit has handed him with his intuition and his know-how, and the fact that he wants to change. He wants to change his fortune. He wants to change, and this will bring up the self-esteem. And I'm not going further because this message here is a reminder of how important it is to hold on to what you call your values, and to avoid situations where you are pulled in because you have temptation. You know, you're tempted because you feel, oh, I'll get away with it. And then you get caught. And then you fall down to the bottom of the ladder, like in Snakes and Ladders, you know. You just, all your self-esteem just go poof out the window. All of what you call valuable to you is taken from you because you couldn't say no and hold up that integrity. Wow, this is a heavy lesson. Thank you, Spirit, for keeping us safe, teaching us. What is the oracle message for this lesson? Thank you, Spirit. What is the oracle message? Oh, we have vision. We have making sure. You see, again, intuition, right? Following that moon where you, well, the high priestess anyway. Okay, all the cards are falling. Okay, no, we're not taking all these cards. It's too much. One is enough. But yeah, it's I'll just read it. Let's see here. Again, it's another 7 with that 43. To find enlightenment, seek nowhere, for it lives within you. So that self-esteem and that value, that self-worth is inside of us, regardless of what other people try to trick us into believing about ourselves, or make us follow their way of confused thought processes and predicaments that are just a waste of time, energy, and even breath to talk about them. But that is lessons of life. And if we are to learn anything from this lesson today, is to follow your intuition and hold on to what you believe in. Don't let other people jerk your chain and try to trick you into stupidity and baser passions of you see that it's an irritant for me, because I have to try and think of something that is in a baser passion mode, you know. Cheating on your beloved is the easiest one I could come up with because of confusion. Okay, it's just stupidities like that. I mean, we have so many other things that we could be doing in this world with so much innovation around us, that we look to go and interfere with another person's relationship. I mean, seriously. It's a sad state of affairs when that is all we have to do. At least we know that there's nothing serious going on in the world, that we could have time to do stuff like that. What is the oracle message for this lesson? Thank you, Spirit. But yeah, integrity. Look it up. See how yours is fair. Oh, look at that. Moving on. Surrender again. We're not going far from that tree. Don't drink all of life from one flower, for there are many to taste and many to explore. So if you know you have to pull away because your intuition tells you that you need to break away and sever ties so that you could have your integrity intact, well, my dear, this lesson couldn't be clearer. Surrender has returned, and then the wisdom is here again, another 7. I'm going to read it. There's nothing more blissful than the act of letting go, of setting yourself free of all that doesn't serve you. Yes, set yourself free, people. Get away from those nonsensical ideas and people who try to bring you down. You know who they are. You recognize them miles away. Just say no. It's as simple as that. And look, you will have your happiness. There's no need to fear, dear one. Protected you are, and protected you will always be. So you see, holding on to your integrity once you get it back protects you. Spirit is not going to let you just get mowed over and crushed by the wheel. You have to really fight the laws of nature by holding on to your ego and demanding that confusion rule and manipulating to the point where you ruin lives. That is when you fall under the wheel. But for us who are just trying to connect and do the work that we were put here to do, good, bad, and ugly, take it as it resonates. If you do what you are supposed to do here with humility, you will be protected and you will have your happiness. See, creation. I'll read the last one because this is where the intuition is connected to the moon. The ribbons, for it lives in the silk of my binding, the knots of my truth, the eye of becoming, the witness swallowed in stillness. You see how they're holding each other so lovingly, so happy. They're connected. And they're connected to the ether. They're connected with value, with integrity. That is where their strength and love come from, because they know what they are worth and they know how to stand and defend what they hold dear. This is a true loving relationship that you can have, provided that you hold on to your integrity and you rise above that low self-esteem and fight off those ingrates, people who just want to destroy, hold you down. You need to be able to walk away. Again, the message of walking away. I thank you for showing up, for your likes, your subscribes, your shares, and your comments. And if this lesson didn't come to you as a lesson today, don't worry. It'll come around again. Love and light.